Gonna do. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to April's first Monday Motivation. Thank you for your patience last week with my crazy travel schedule. We have quite a few new people on this call or who are planning to watch this call who have recently said, I might want to be a little more intentional about this. I might want to either get my products free. I want to have a work from home opportunity that is fun, that is uplifting. And let me tell you, look no further. We have a lot of fun on this team. March was one of the best months of growth we had in a long, long time. We had 11 people rank up to the next level. We added 97 VIPs to this team. You might be one of them. You might be here as a result of that. So welcome. I want this call to be able to be watched back by other people so that we can more easily and quickly duplicate ourselves without a lot of effort. I want to have a resource for you so that when someone says, I want to intentionally do a business part-time or full-time, what do I do? You can shoot them this video. Boom, you're done. We want to work smarter, not harder. And after 6 years of doing this, I'm finally kind of learning how to do that. So we are going to do this in two parts, and I call it the system sandwich. And tonight I'm going to give you the meat. And the meat is what happens when, from the time somebody says, what is that pink drink you're drinking, to signing them up. Okay. So that's what a lot of you need. But then there's some bread that goes on the outside of this. And the top piece of bread, or maybe the bottom piece of bread, no matter how you look at it, is how do I get people to ask that question? What do I need to do on the front end to attract people to me? And then the other piece of bread is what do I do after they've signed up? But tonight is just going to be the meat. Okay. Here is the process that we go through once we've attracted someone to us. It all starts with a post, a Facebook post. And for the purpose of tonight's call, let me go to my presentation here. All right, can you all see that? Nod your head for me. Awesome, fantastic. For the purpose of tonight's call, we're going to assume that you're putting up one of your first posts. It could look something like this. Sometimes people, the first day they get their pink drink, they say day one, here goes nothing. Could look something like this. These are great first posts that people do. We just had a bunch of new people put up a post offering samples. We handle that a little bit differently. So if you're doing that and you hear me say something a little different than what I've told you to do in Plexus 2.0, that's okay. First posts are a little different than ongoing posts, but I want you to know how to handle these yourself so that you can help people on your team who are posting for the first time handle them. That's what we call duplication. So you've put up your first post or a post, and people will say one of two things. Oops, hang on, sorry. They are going to say, what is it? Or send me info, right? And how you handle this, each of these is a little bit different. So if they say, well, what is that? Step one, you're going to respond to them in the comments of your post, okay? Hang on. Got to get back to my notes that I just lost. All right, so you're going to reply with one of these. If none of these resonate with you, that's perfectly fine. These are just examples. You're all intelligent humans that can come up with variations of this that do sound like you, and I encourage you to do that. The point is that you don't want to share a novel in the comments. If they say right away, hey, send me info about that, you're going to say, great, happy to, I will PM you. For both of these instances, you're then going to head to your private message. You don't want to have a full conversation in the comments, first of all, because that's just weird. Second of all, if you say in the comments, oh, it's Plexus, it's this health and wellness company that keeps us from being fat, depressed, and tired, there could be people that you've just answered their question. Now they don't need to ask any more questions, and you'll never have known that they were interested. Or they might go to Google, which we never recommend because you can find horrible reviews about just about any product on the market on Google. So that's not how we encourage people to research that. So we just want to contact them and then head to their private messages. And in that private message, you'll say something like this. There's variations of this too. Hey, this is an antioxidant drink. It's made by a health and wellness company called Plexus. It's designed to give me more energy and take away my sugar cravings. My friend, whoever, has had great results. Give your sponsors results. There are a couple of them. So I figured I'd try it. Bathing suit season is upon us. So I want you to notice what I didn't do here. I didn't send a novel. I don't ask if people want to see a video about it. I don't even ask if it piqued their interest. I do one thing only. I answer their question. Now, some of you right now are thinking, wait a second, you've told me to send a video before. That's true, because as we live and learn and we know better, we do better. And if you do that, it's not the end of the world. But what I have found is that when we offer a video too soon, most people will be like, yeah, sure, send it. And then they don't even watch it because they're really not that interested in the first place. And now you've sent a premature video and done some unnecessary work. And you've also maybe pushed a little too much, a little too soon. So let's just say you say what I've just said right here. That way, if they say something like, oh, great, let me know how it goes, they're not that interested yet. And it allows you to respond like a normal person and just say, yep, I will probably be posting my progress. Keep watching. And what you might do at this point is put them on a list of people that, like, maybe down the road, if we're doing a sample offer, you could reach out to them about it. If they are interested, I promise you, they will ask you for more information at that point. Okay. So if they, after you say this, ask a question like, does it help with? What does it do? At that point, that is when you might offer them a video to watch. So if they say, does it help with bloating? You can say, yeah, it does actually. I've got a couple great videos that my friend Kelly did that explain what this does and solves way better than I can because I just started this. That's authentic. To admit, I don't know how to explain this stuff yet. I just drank my first pink drink myself. That's authentic. You shouldn't know everything yet. Okay, so you can then offer a video at these points. Now, this does several things. Offering a third-party tool is one of the most important things that you can do at this point. Here's what it does. It makes it easier for you. It takes the need for you to know what you're talking about yet off the table. Okay, a lot of people feel like they have to know all the science and all the intricacies of gut health to be able to share this, and you 100% do not. Let the third-party tool do that for you. It also allows for third-party validation, and third-party validation can be crucial when people are making purchasing decisions. Now they're hearing that someone else that seems credible, because I try to do a good job in these videos, is saying the same thing that they are. Now, I'm also not the only person. Other people have done videos. Corporate has videos. I've just done these myself because I find them to be a little bit more personal. Also, I am an actor for a living, so I would like to think that I'm good at doing videos, but you don't have to use mine. The final thing that it does, and this is more subconscious, if you send a third-party tool rather than explaining things yourself right from the get-go, you're showing them how easy this is to share with other people. And that that they could maybe do it themselves. They might not think about that right away, but if you go off on some science rant that sounds amazing and beautiful, and then they do purchase from you, what happens when you suggest that they share this? They're going to say, oh, wow. I mean, yeah, but I could never whip that beautiful scientific explanation out of my butt like you just did. I'm not qualified. So the less you do and the less you sound like you know and the less of an expert you sound like, the better. that takes all the pressure off you. Okay. So if they say, yeah, I do want to see a video, great. All right. So that I have a couple of different ones I can send you. What are you trying to solve? You want to figure out what they're trying to solve. Okay. And I have 3 videos that I've done that you can choose from. I'm going to put them in the chat right now, or my lovely assistant Marcy is going to put them in the chat. The first one is the what is plexus and why do I need it video. A lot of you watched that video. That's why you're here. You watched that video. It has a really high rate of return, actually. Then the second one that I love is if somebody talks about having joint pain, or let's see, yeah, joint pain, inflammation, they really just want gut health. They're not talking a ton about weight loss. Then I would do the why you should begin with triplex and ease. And then finally, if they're like, well, I need to lose weight, I have a great video. I still might start with just the what is plexus and why do we need it? But I also have a new video that I am putting together now that will be called Can Plexus Help Me Lose Weight? And it's basically going to be a redo of the Renew You video I did. And that has all the same products in it. That's the one that we're going to use until I get that done. But it talks about the weight loss products. And I still do talk about the triplex being the foundation of weight loss. So those are 3 great tools or great videos that you can send to them. Okay. So save those to a note in your phone. Or if you're watching this back in the future, you can just go to my YouTube channel and they're all there. All right. So after that, after they've watched the video, let's see, you're just going to send it and say, great, watch this. Tell me if it resonates. Notice how I'm following their lead. Notice I'm only answering what they're asking, one question at a time. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is overwhelming people with information they have not even asked for upfront and sending novels that they got to scroll through and like making them say, oh, Lord, I don't have time to read that now. I'll get to that later. When you do that, it's probably because you're too invested in the outcome rather than the process of serving them. And people can sense that. And if they're not ready, you could sabotage whether or not when they are ready, they come to you or not. People need to feel safe with you. But when you ask or when you answer one question at a time, you're allowing them to make decisions for themselves. And these are always stronger decisions. And you're preventing sort of a premature harvest. And so many people, when I suggest that they do this as a business, they're like, I don't want to be salesy. And then they think that sending novels and being too pushy, they end up being the exact thing they don't want to be. Okay. Because they're like, well, if I'm going to do this, I want to be successful. So they become too invested in the outcome. You have to be invested in the process. All right. So for the sake of this exercise, we're going to assume that they watch the video right then. They come back to you and they either say, this is what I need, or sign me up. What do I do next? How much does this cost? They might have more questions. In either case, no matter what they say here, we have found enormous success in moving to a 3-way message with your sponsor at this point. Or if your sponsor is not working the business, go up another level. If you have to, come to me if you have to. A 3-way message is another third-party tool. So let me tell you what that will look like first, and then I'm going to tell you why it's so helpful. Okay. So let's just say they ask a question like, well, does it help with, or does it have caffeine? Or if I have a pacemaker, can I take this? Here's what I would say. That's a phenomenal question. I don't know because I just started myself. Remember, let me ask my friend Marcy. Since I just started myself, I don't want to steer you wrong. Hang on a sec. Okay. Now, what you don't want to say is, well, at this point, what we do is we put you in a 3-way chat with my upline. Like, don't say that. Or don't even say, is it okay with you if I start a 3-way message? The weirder you are about it, the weirder it's going to be. Just do it. Okay. Just open a three-way message with those people, or with the two people. And here's what you're going to say in that message. Hey, sponsor, this is my friend Potential. She would love to have energy, love to have some weight loss. Would the triplex be the best welcome pack for her? Is there something better that maybe I don't know about? Something like that. Don't just be authentic in your, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Now, your sponsor will then chime in by saying, yeah, that's a great one. For those issues that you just said, here are two I always recommend. And your sponsor will then probably put a couple different photos or graphics of the welcome packs in the chat. She might have additional questions just to determine what the best fit is. It's going to turn into a conversation that I can't predict how it's going to go. But if your sponsor is also calm and not too invested in the outcome and only answers one question at a time, the conversation is going to go great. Okay. Now, this brings me to why you should do this. Hang on, I'm going to mute everybody. Okay. This is why it's a great idea to do this. Number one, you learn how to answer the questions properly yourself. At some point, you'll be doing this for someone else. They will be connecting you to somebody that they're like, this is just happening now for Marcy. She just started sharing 8 weeks ago. She connected me in all of her messages to all of the people that she signed up. Now she's doing the same for people that I'm not even in those chats anymore, but and if she gets stuck, she'll message me and ask me, wait, how do I answer this? Right? So you can't learn unless you watch. The second thing it does is it, again, provides third-party validation. Oh, this is someone besides Marcy saying this. And the sponsor will come across as calm, confident, knowledgeable, a good guide. And it immediately shows them, oh, well, this is a whole community of people doing this. And she seems cool. She seems fun. Maybe this is what I need. Maybe I need to be a part of this community. Okay. Now, if you're a veteran, are you doing this? Are you putting people in three-way messages to sign people up? Not necessarily. I've never done this because I wasn't taught to do it. And I don't even really have someone above me that I could do it with. So it can work without it. I'm just saying that we have found that this is such a great tool. And not only does it increase the rate of people signing up, but it increases retention as well. And, I already know a lot of the answers and you're going to graduate to that. But the three-way message is still super valuable. For example, Marcy just signed a bunch of people up, but and some of them she's doing without me now, but she still puts me in a three-way message with them afterward to provide community to these people and to connect them right away. Okay, so let's just say that their questions are answered. Some welcome packs have been determined. They're like, I think I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to sign up. What do I do? Do you send a link? Hang on a second. Oh yeah, do I send a link? What do I do? What I say to people, or what the person that I'm with says, is, in my experience, the most fun way, the way that causes the least user frustration, is for us to just click the video button above, hop on a short video chat. We can get the info we need to grab you this deal. We have some codes to enter as well that will get you started for less. Does that work for you? And again, just be super casual, because it is the most fun way. I do these calls all the time. They're fun. I get to know the people. I can put a face to a name. They begin to feel comfortable with me. Then as they get started, let's just say you're like in the shower or you're walking your dog and they have a question. You now have another layer. You have somebody else. Maybe I'm sitting here, watching The Bachelor. I can just answer, and it provides another layer of support. It has aided us in retention so much. And so these calls are what I suggest you do. And if they're not available right then great, just get some other times, reconvene, and you can sign them up then. And once the order is placed, we're going to go into this more next week. We have a new VIP customer onboarding checklist where we have 4 or 5 different checkpoints. If you notice, if I signed you up, I've been doing these checkpoints with you. I've been checking in with you at week 1 saying, how is your water intake? Are you getting into a good rhythm? Are you pooping? I have added you to the Fab Fit and Free page. I've added you to Plexus 1.0, and we'll go over all of that. But this document is a great way to do that. So I'm not going to spend too much time there in this call, but we will next week. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of questions, and I'm going to take some questions in a minute, but let's troubleshoot for a sec. What if people say, what if no one responds to my post? What if I put up a post? Nobody says anything. Nobody wants more information. I want you to have the thought, literally, I want you to think to yourself, this is not a problem. This is not a problem. Because it's not a problem. There can be any number of reasons for that have nothing to do with whether your audience does or doesn't want this, or you being good at this, or the potential to be good at this. You could be someone who just hasn't been active on social media, and therefore the Facebook algorithm's working against you. Perhaps you're someone that needs to build a little trust with your audience for a minute. It may take them a while of watching you, and I'm talking 90 days of watching you to see if you're serious about this. And this was just post number 1. Just like we tell you to give the products 90 days before you decide they were a bad idea, we want you to give posting once a week, a good 90 days, once a week. That's 12 posts before you decide, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to be good at this. Okay. It takes people sometimes. I had somebody sign up the other day that has been watching me for 6 years. Now, do some of you have a ton of interest right away? Yes. And I'm so happy for you. But just as many people have to post 5 to 8 times before they get some interest. So just play the long game. You will never regret it. All right, next, what if somebody asks for information or says, what is this? And you say, I'll PM you, and you send this is what this is, and that's all you say, and they don't respond, they don't reply. Guess what you do? Nothing. Because you answered the question, you did your job. There's no need to say anything else at this point. If you go back and you're like, I noticed that you asked what it is, and then I told you what it is, and you didn't say anything. So like, did you want to see a video? No, we don't want to do that. You're making it about you. You're making it about the outcome, not about serving them where they're at. If they read the reply and they didn't say anything, they ain't that interested. Okay. Now let's just say you sent the video, you had the conversation like, yeah, no, I do want to see a video about this. And then they don't watch it right then. That is grounds for follow-up. So I would give it a little bit of time, and then I would say, okay, anything resonate? I really want to gather 2 or 3 fun people to try this with. You qualify as fun. Did it pique your interest at all? If you are honest, the more honest you are about, hey, I want you to do this with me, that's authentic. That is normal. That is what you do for so many other things. Like, hey, I just joined Lifetime Fitness. I need a buddy. Join Lifetime Fitness with me. That's what you do. Okay. It also gives them the freedom to say no, which will make them a lot more likely to reply to you. Now, this might lead to more questions, in which case you would follow the protocol that I already laid out about 3-way messaging. And if they don't respond to that, they're not interested enough yet. And you don't want them to do this until they are. Because I always say, if you have to chase someone down to do this, you're going to have to chase them down to stay. And that's not what we have time for. Okay. So if they don't respond at that point, leave them alone or put them on a list of someone to potentially offer a sample to down the road. They may need to see you talk about this for a while before they jump themselves. Okay. Okay. Then here's the other one that you're thinking. Well, what if they're ready to go, but they don't want to get on a call and they just want a link? Okay. If they really want a link, send them a link. I'm just telling you, like, did you actually ask them to get on a call? Because sending them a link only, you'll have maybe a 30% success rate of them actually following through. Even if they do click the link, then they're going to get confused about what to do. They're going to have questions. It just delays the whole process exponentially. Not to mention, a lot of the times they just get it wrong. Then you got to fix things. So getting on a call to sign them up has a 99% success rate, which to me is a lot better use of my time. And a lot of times people don't get on a call because you just didn't ask them. And if you don't suggest it, the answer is always no. That's why I love, hey, I would love to meet you. That would be fun. Let's get on a call. Okay. All right. Now, have I ever sent a link and people do sign up? Of course. In fact, it just happened to someone today that she didn't even know they signed up. So it does happen. I would just then send them some detailed instructions. And I'm not going to go through what those are tonight. Your sponsor can help you with that. But all right. So that is the system. What questions did this raise? What other troubleshooting can I help with? Was I clear? No one has any follow-up questions.
Again, I will just say I really, really like the transition into the three-way chat with your sponsor, because for me, it just adds that community level that often is not there. And I think it does make an impact on people. I mean, we have this, look at all of our faces right here. We have all this whole community that is very interested in helping people feel better. So I just like that opens up a whole new aspect of it. It's not just trying to sell a product, it's trying to help them and serve them where they are.
Yeah. And oftentimes I will, like, if you put me in a chat with you, I often won't say much until I'm necessary. Or if I see you say something that I know is blatantly false, I might be like, actually, it's this, but I don't like, the goal is to not make it like this, like situation. It's to be there as a support. Okay. And it just has worked so well. So that's what happens from beginning to end. Does it always go exactly like that? No, because life is life. But this will give you if you can get used to this, it will just make things so much easier for you. Okay. Now, so next week, what we're going to talk about is the 2 pieces of bread. What are some things that will help people get interested? What do I post about? What don't I post about? And then we're also going to talk about how do I make the most of the work that I've done by signing someone up? What's the best way to retain them? What's the best way to serve them? So we'll talk about that. That's just as important. But if you're new and you just put up your first post, I want you to have the mindset of that was the first of 12 that I'm going to do to really give this a fair shot. And if after 12 posts, no one ever comments, no one ever talks to you about this, there might be some other issues there that that you need to do some foundational work on as far as you being influential, which I could do mounds of training on. But most of you are going to have somebody that you can help. Okay, we all have 3 at least. And a lot of times that's all you need, because then they find 3 and they find 3. And all of a sudden you're a gold ambassador with Plexus. Okay, awesome. Thank you for tuning in after we tuned into the other event. I know it's been a long night. We'll see you next week.